Hi everyone, in this short video I'm just going to go through how to navigate around the Cleeve Racing bet tracker. It's quite intuitive, quite easy to use. Whenever you open the bet tracker you'll come to the home screen here, and there's two ways you can get around. You can either click on the buttons on the home screen or you can go to the tab. So if I click on bet records, it takes to the bet records and opens that. I can go from each page to the various different pages, or I can just click around using the tabs. So it's quite straightforward, quite intuitive. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you and talk through the bets record sheet. Now it is preloaded with some dummy data, and you'll see in the top right hand corner here you can delete all this dummy data. So when you've been through the videos and you're happy with your setup and you want to start using it, you can just click delete dummy data and it'll delete all the data. Now just a warning here, it does say for testing purposes you can import delete the dummy data using the buttons below. Please note deleting the dummy data will delete all the data in the bets record. So if you start using this and you're adding stuff to it, you need to start with a clean sheet. So if I just click delete dummy data, you'll see it clears the whole sheet. If I import the dummy data, it'll put it all back in again. It'll come up with a warning saying it's inserted rows. That's fine. And then it'll put all the dummy data back in the sheet for you. It's all pre-calculated. It's all set up so that you can have a play around with it. So just be aware that deleting dummy data actually deletes all the data in the bets record sheet. So if you put your own data in there, do not click delete dummy data. So first of all, we'll go along the top of the buttons. Obviously date is self-explanatory. That picks up a date picker where you can select the dates of your bets. You've got this line here, this button here says clear new bet line. Now what that does is if you click that, so you've started putting a bet in, you've made some mistakes or whatever, you want to start again from scratch, that'll just clear the new bet line here and it'll put all the calculations back in for you. Confirm bet, confirm new bet is obviously self-explanatory. That's when you filled it in, you can confirm that. Edit bet is if you highlight on any particular row, you can go in and edit that bet. I'll show you that in a minute. And then you can also delete bets. This box here allows you to set decimal or fractional odds. Now what it does, it doesn't set the whole sheet to those odds, it sets that particular bet. So what we'll do now is we'll go through adding a bet and you can see what happens. So first of all, pick a date. So you can go back in the past. So say we were going to add a bet on the 6th of April. Now you'll see in the sheet here our last bet was the 5th of April. So if I put the 6th of April in there, it's put the date in. We can then pick the bookmaker, and I'll go through how you set these lists up in a minute. Oh, sorry, I'll do that in another video, a separate video. So we can pick the bookmaker. So I'll use Betfair because I want to show you the exchange commissions. The bet source is where you've got the bet from. Now you can have in there, you can set the settings up to have as many tips in there as you want, my bets, my selections, however you want to set it up. So let's just, for this sake of ease, we'll say horse tips. Sport, again, you can set these up in your settings list. So it's horse racing. Venue, now we've pre-populated all the courses in the UK for horse racing, but you can add to these. So if you've got golf courses, football grounds, whatever you want to add, so we've got at home and away for football in there. So you can add those to the settings list. So we'll just pick a course and we'll say Exeter. The bet type, now just a word on the bet types, is the top three there, a win, each way quarter odds and each way fifth odds. Now those three are automatically calculated. So if you put a win bet in and you put the odds in, it'll automatically calculate it for you. Things like doubles, trebles, trixies, Yankees, you need to enter the profit and loss in the profit and loss button here, box here, because it can't calculate all these different bet types. The calculations are just horrendous. So you'll know from your results what you got back and what your returns were. So we'll just put in, at the moment, quarter odds each way. Selection is a manual entry, so you want to put in whatever you want to call it. So, you know, the name of the horse. So we'll just say horse 2, we've already got that in there. And then the result. Now you've got three options, won, placed or lost. So obviously it doesn't do Asian bet lines at the moment. So if you're doing football Asian bet lines, and it doesn't do that. So we'll say that was placed. And now the stake here is coming from the settings. There's two ways you can do it. I'll go through the settings in another video, but just to show you quickly here, there's two options here. There's level staking and percentage of banks, and you can set those to whatever you want. So if I change that to 2% of the bank in there, and then I go back to the bets record, you'll see that's increased. And that is a percentage, 2% of the running bank down here. So it's 2% of that figure there. Now, if you want to set it to level stakes, all you do is uncheck that box, check that box, and set your stakes whatever you want it to be. Go back to the bets record, and now it's set at £20. Just a word on stakes. So at the moment we've got an each way bet of quarter odds, and it says stakes 20. So that's £20 total stakes. So that'd be £10 each way it'll allocate to that. It's not £20 each way. That's your total stake. So it's £10 each way. Now, at the top here, because we're on Betfair, we can use decimal odds. So if I put in here, it was 10 to 1, which in effect will be 11s. So in fact, we use 8s because that's easier. So if we put 9s in there, so that's in effect 8 to 1. Yeah. So it knows it's been placed. It knows it's a quarter odds. It knows it's £10 each way, and it knows it's 8 to 1 because it's decimal odds. So your profit and loss is £10, and your return is 30. Yeah. So that's correct. Yeah. So if you want to change that to fractional odds, what you have to be aware of, it will change that to 9 to 1. So you need to change that to 8 to 1. Yeah. So now, if we just go back to decimal odds, make that 9. Now, you can pick your exchange. You're on Betfair Exchange, and it will automatically apply the commission level whatever you've got in your settings. So you see Betfair is set at 5%. We say that's 2%, which you should be on. It's now changed that to 2%, and it'll deduct that 2% from your profit and loss. Yeah. So if we now confirm that bet, now you'll see it's put that bet in there in the right place in the 6th of the 4th on the 6th of April there, and it's completed all the bet records, and it's put your Betfair 2% in there. What we can also do is if I just edit that bet, so if I go into edit that bet and you put in a rule 4, so say it was 20p in the pound, it'll recalculate that. Yeah. So if I now confirm that bet, it'll put that bet back in with the rule 4 in. So that's how you enter a bet, edit a bet. I can delete that bet. So if I go delete, now you will get a warning. So are you sure you want to delete the selected bet? So say yes. It'll delete that bet and recalculate everything. Yeah. So you've got your running P&L, your profit and loss, your running P&L, and your bank. So that's how you add a bet, edit a bet, delete a bet, confirm a bet, and it will automatically put it in the right date order. It will calculate everything for you, take into account your Betfair commission, any rule 4s, and automatically calculate each way odds, quarter, a fifth, or win odds. As I say, if you want to, one thing you can do is if we go in and edit this bet here, you're not stuck with these stakes. Yeah. If you want to change that, you can type into there and it'll automatically recalculate it for you. So you're not stuck to the level stakes or the percentage staking. It's to give you an indication of what your bet size should be. You can change that on any bet you want while you're putting the bet in. So if I just clear that new bet line, yeah, and we add a new bet. So we'll go back to the 6th, well, we say the 7th of May, yeah. Now, you don't have to fill all these in, but obviously more information in, the more of your analysis is going to be. And when you see on the performance video and the graphs video, it makes a lot more sense if you put in as much information as you can. You don't need to put any of these in. Really, all you need to put in is the bet type, the result, and the odds, and it'll work everything out for you. So we'll say that was at home. It was both teams to score. It was say Man U, and it won. And decimal odds, because we'll put it on Betfair, and we had a £50 stake, and the odds were 1.87. Yeah, so it's completed all that, confirm that, and it'll put that in. Yeah. So because it was a win bet, it knew the odds, it knew the stakes. If I wanted to put a bet in very quickly, I don't need to put any of that in. All I need to say, it was a win bet, it won, it's £20. I'll put it as fractional odds. It was 2 to 1. Let's worked it all out, confirm the bet. And on the 1st of June, we'll now have a bet in there. See, it's added it in, but all the data's missing. So you won't find that bet in the performance sheets, because it won't know which bookmaker it was, it won't know which sport it was, it won't know which venue it was. So the more information you put in, you can always go back and edit these, as I say. Now, one thing you can do is you can, if I just delete that bet, one thing you can do is you can add a bet without a result. So let's see, so we'll put all the details in. So we'll say it was horse tips 1, it's horse racing, it was at air, it was a win bet, it was horse 23. We don't know what the result is yet. We know what the odds were. It was 3 to 1. Yeah. So it's not completed the profit and loss and the return, because it doesn't know what the result is. So if I can confirm that bet, it says the bet does not have a result. Would you like to proceed? If you say yes. So it's added that bet in there, but you'll see there's a different colour here. It doesn't know what the result is. And it's odds 3 to 1, and it's not included the profit and loss, and it's not updated the running profit and loss and the bank. So what we can do now is we can go back in. Once we know the result, we can edit that bet. We can say it's won. It's calculated the profit and loss, and we confirm that bet. So now it's added it all in. It's put the return in the profit and loss, and it's updated the running profit and loss in the bank. So basically you can add bets without a result, so you can put them on the day you put them on. So you could have anti-post bets, bets on the football in the morning, whatever you want to put in there, and you can go back and give it the result later on, and it will recalculate everything. So that's actually the bets record sheet. It's quite intuitive, it's quite easy to use. If you've got any questions, just drop us a line, but I think you'll find that it's quite simple.